What is poppin' YouTube? Another night, another mock draft. You know what it is. We are doing, and we're kind of getting towards the end of this like mock draft season, and so I just wanted to kind of get a few more in here. I'm doing a lot of home leagues this weekend, so got to get prepared. Got to prepare for those drafts. So, like I said, we're gonna be doing this mock draft, but as always, we are hitting that intro first and foremost. So we, as always, are doing live. We're going into the mock drafts. We're getting it full right now. I have a few more spots. Joined a random mock draft on Sleeper, so that is what we are doing tonight from the 4 spot. Now, I will say, you guys have been absolutely blowing up the support. I can't say enough good things about all that you guys are doing for this channel. We are at 69 subscribers. I will say this, like, we're about to hit 70, so if you could please be that 70th subscriber. If you're watching the replay, hit subscribe right now, hit like. We're putting out a lot more content heading into this season, so appreciate you guys for all tuning in, for all just being a fan, and of course, like, you know what? We hit 70. We smashed that goal. We are going for 80 subscribers by the beginning of the season. We got 1 week to do it. I think we can do it, and that is what we're going for. So 80 subscribers. Can we do it? We're going for it. Like I said, we're still waiting on a few more teams to join this draft, and we will get started. But yeah, excited for the season. So, like I said, if you're watching the replay, feel free to comment and subscribe. I know I get back with all comments. So, like I said, if you haven't at all commented on the channel before, please do. Really helps me with the algorithm as we're trying to get more people into our fantasy football community, because especially as we get into the season, we're going to be doing start and sits. We're going to be doing waiver wire ads. We're going to be doing players that I'm starting and liking for this week based on matchup. And I will be doing one of my favorite content creators. I mean, of course, I like Fantasy Pros, Ron Stewart, Mason Dodd. Like, those are the people that I look up to when I'm creating this kind of content. But the main thing that I was going to say is I really like this guy named Andrew. He does like his tier rankings, and I think that's what we're going to be doing too, putting out like our running back rankings, our wide receiver rankings, our tight end rankings, and our quarterback rankings based on every week. And we'll just be able to pump those videos out. But yeah, like I said, we're now 2 minutes in. We still have 4 spots in this mock. So excited to get this one going. So yeah, we're about to get this thing popping. We are How many are we? Yeah, we got 2 more teams. 2 more teams. So appreciate everyone for stopping in today. If you were coming from Twitter, I never can actually see your comments. So just so you know, if you're watching on Twitter, I can never see your comments. So if you come to YouTube, you would whatever. So it's kind of what's happening. And let me share my screen so you guys can all see the draft board. Of course, we're drafting from this 4 spot. So that is what is happening tonight. Let me know. Have you guys joined? Like, where your drafts? I know a lot of people have already had their drafts happen. I don't know. Like, not a lot of people have had their drafts happen yet. But appreciate you guys for tuning in here tonight. We are about to get this mock popping. Like I said, if you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. We're putting out fantasy football content each and every day to help you win your fantasy football leagues, and we're just going from here. So yeah, excited. We got the 1-4, so we'll see what falls to us. I drafted Derrick Henry today in one of my redraft leagues at 1-4. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know if I'm pro Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, or Derrick Henry there. That's kind of the decision I've been getting. And Derrick Henry's off the board, and so I'm not taking Austin Eckler. And I think we're gonna go Cooper Kupp. I think you have to shoot that upside shot. I've said this before. When you're looking at Cooper Kupp and the way that he performed last year, the thing is, even if he regresses 25%, let's say that last year was an outlier and he's not going to perform at that same level. Even if he regresses 25%, he still would have been the wide receiver 1 overall on a points per game basis, as well as the overall wide receiver 1. So I just got to take Cooper Kupp there. I think the upside is immense, and especially with some of these drafts, we've been seeing the running back values that you're able to get at the 2-9 and then also getting at the beginning of the 3rd. So I think I'm very confident going with Cooper Kupp having that high upside shot, because at the same time, I did say that I would consider Derrick Henry there. There is a lot of risk with Derrick Henry. I would also argue same amount of risk with Austin Eckler and Dalvin Cook, because based on first round projection values, which I talked about yesterday in our stream, 40% of first round picks bust. So it's kind of just what happens on a year-to-year basis. Like I said, appreciate all 4 viewers right now participating and being here on this Thursday night. Appreciate you guys being here. if you haven't already, like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 70 subscribers tonight, and we're one away. So you could be that one. You could be the one that puts me over the top, and I would forever be grateful. After I drafted Cooper Kupp, we had Austin Eckler, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Najee Harris, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is my RB4 this year. DeAndre Swift, Alvin Kamara. I'm taking Javonte Williams. I'm this burn to run. I'm actually taking Javonte Williams ahead of Swift and Kamara this year. I know that's a bold take, but that is what I'm doing. So let me know. Are you taking Javonte Williams over Alvin Kamara and DeAndre Swift? I don't know. I think I would. So Javonte Williams, well, I would because he's on my rankings, but I know some people are not as courageous. Aaron Jones, to me, it's really the tier is Aaron Jones, DeAndre Swift, and Alvin Kamara, and I think I prefer Aaron Jones. And I know DeAndre Swift. Noah, one of my co-hosts on one of my other shows I do, is a super big DeAndre Swift fan, and of course is like he was the RB5 on a points per game basis. But like, I just think there's so many mouths to feed in the Lions offense, and they're not going to be efficient enough to really be able to score the ball enough for DeAndre Swift to have the Alvin Kamara like ceiling that we're really hoping for. So I think like if you want DeAndre Swift, like just draft Alvin Kamara because we don't know what's happening and it's going to be a risk either way because maybe Kamara gets suspended later in the season. I doubt it, but there's a potential. And there's a good possibility that maybe DeAndre Swift gets injured. Now, I don't draft my running backs based on injury because, like I said, I'm super high on Saquon and CMC this year just based on the way that they perform on a per game basis because that's all we can do. So after we had DeAndre Swift off the board, we had Alvin Kamara, Javonte Williams, Aaron Jones, Saquon Barkley. I would take Saquon Barkley over. I think I still prefer Saquon Barkley over DeAndre Swift. Stephon Diggs, really like that team going 0 RB. Nick Chubb, not a Nick Chubb believer at all. Travis Kelce falls all the way to the 2-6. Leonard Fournette at the 2-7, and then Devontae Adams just goes off the board. So we are back on the clock. We are not taking a quarterback. I don't know why I switched there. We're looking at wide receivers. We do like me some CeeDee Lamb. He doesn't fall quite enough to me at this position. And I guess we are just going to punt we're going to punt this position running back, and we're just going to go with CeeDee Lamb. I like the upside. I think he's a top 5 wide receiver just based on volume. And let's be honest here. We all love some CeeDee Lamb. And if it's not the year for CeeDee Lamb, then is it ever going to be the year? And so that is why I am drafting CeeDee Lamb like over someone like a Deebo Samuel, who had an amazing year last year. I can't get behind. We don't know what Trey Lance is going to be. And of course, he's competing with targets with Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle and Elijah Mitchell in the backfield. So I think Deebo Samuel regresses just a little bit. And I think that's enough to be wary of trying to shoot for upside with the CeeDee Lamb pick. Let me know. Would you have taken Deebo Samuel there? Is that who you would pick? Appreciate all 7 of you viewers for being here tonight. Like I said, if you haven't already liked and subscribed, we're trying to get to 70 subscribers by the end of the stream. So we're trying to grow our channel. We're trying to get more people into the community that love fantasy football and kind of just go from there. So I appreciate you guys all for stopping in. So after Deebo Samuel, we had Mark Andrews and then Kyle Pitts off the board. I think the thing that I have to remember about Kyle Pitts, I like him more in the 3rd. I think it's a little bit early. There's some people that I would have maybe taken ahead of him. And we're about to fall to us. No running backs that we're super excited about here. I mean, you could go Zeke, but I don't necessarily love it. I could go Travis Etienne. I like that upside, but I think that is a little bit risky. And we're just trying to take value here. I don't, like I said, if Kyle Pitts would have fallen, that kind of would have been my pick. But Mike Evans is falling down the board, so we're just going to absolutely hammer running backs here. And you might not like it. Maybe you are not 0 RB drafter. I'm not typically a 0 RB drafter. But based on this draft and how everything's falling, we are becoming a 0 RB. But that is what you do when you're in your home leagues. Your friends are making crazy picks because they are not watching a fantasy football mock draft on a Thursday night. That is when you absolutely dive in and make sure that you are securing the proper players with right value so that you have the high upside to be able to take it on later. So, we'll see what falls. Maybe we don't draft. Maybe we don't draft, a running back until round 5, 6, 7. But I'm feeling very solid about our core of receivers between Cooper Kupp, Mike Evans, and CeeDee Lamb. So let me know. Is there a player that you would have drafted over Mike Evans here? I mean, I like Mike Evans. I think even with the Julio Jones thing, like Mike Evans is very solid. Mike Evans is super solid. So, hey, also shout out to whoever did subscribe here tonight. We just did hit 70 subscribers. So boom shakalaka. I'm not going to do a little dance on the screen or anything, but appreciate you guys for all the support, for tuning in here tonight and just being a part of our channel as we are continuing to grow, produce more fantasy football content day in and day out. So after I drafted Mike Evans, we had T. Higgins, Michael Pittman, Keenan Allen, Cam Akers, Ezekiel Elliott, and then Josh Allen off the board. Josh Allen, You draft him in the third. If he falls to 310, are you drafting Josh Allen? I'm just a late. Like I like a late round quarterback this year. And if things happen kind of like how this draft is falling, where I drafted 3 receivers right off the bat, I'm probably drafting a late tight end as well. If you can't get those first 3 guys, just wait until you can get Cole Kmet. Potentially Zach Ertz if he falls to the 8th, but he typically goes in the 7th. Oh man, we're having some fun. These guys are having some fun in the sleeper chat. So if you are here from sleeper and you're drafting with me, let me know in the comments. Let me know what your sleeper name is so we can grade your team after this draft. So after Josh Allen, we had Terry McLaurin, DJ Moore, Allen Robinson, and then Breece Hall off the board. I'm taking the fact that Cam Akers went at 3.8 tells you all you need to know. Like, I'm not drafting Cam Akers anywhere. I will draft Cam Akers if I have to. If he is going after Breece Hall and Travis Etienne, like I will definitely draft me some Cam Akers. But the fact is, I'm not. I'm taking like the upside of Breece Hall and Travis Etienne is so high. That's why I'm taking those guys. Like, shoot for upside when you're in the 3rd and 4th rounds, because a David Montgomery, like Cam Akers, like that type of production you can find on your waiver wires. Now, granted, this is way different. We talked earlier this, like when I first started the channel, we did a lot of dynasty fantasy football content. Of course, you have to get those running backs, and it's a little bit harder to get those running backs. But we're talking redraft, where a lot of the times you just need one solid starter, do a hero RB build, and you just kind of play the waiver wire. So MT Graves went with Travis Etienne. I was really hoping he was going to fall. Shout out to Hurricane for being here tonight, my man. I appreciate you being here. Thanks also for like all the support on the channel, man. You've been fantastic. And we're on the, we're just going to take George Kittle here. None of the running backs were super enticing to us. So let's try to get a positional advantage at one of the positions. I know I just said I was going to wait. I thought Travis Etienne was going to fall to me, and he didn't. So then you pivot, and that is exactly what we did here tonight, folks. We pivoted, and we went with George Kittle. So we are doing Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb, George Kittle, and Mike Evans as our 0 RB build. Hurricane, my man, what do you think? Are you a fan of that build? Are you liking the 0 RB thing? I don't know. I just don't like it. I think it makes you have to, if you're doing the 0 RB build, you just have to like acknowledge the fact that you're going to have to kill it on the waivers later in the season. And maybe that helps you. And you find that Cordell Patterson, you find the James Robinson of this year later in the draft. But I'm probably just going to have to take a lot of shots here later in the draft. And I just don't like doing that. I like taking, when you get to the round 7, the round 8, when you're able to get the Elijah Moores, the Brandon Ayuk's, the Drake Londons, like those are the values that I'm trying to go after. So yeah, Hurricane, you got to just be flexible. Yeah, I totally agree with you. So we'll see what falls here to us. We're not liking any of the values, man. I'll just be honest here. We are not liking any of the values. And I'll be clear here. If Patty or Justin Herbert falls here, I'm probably sniping that. And I'm not even an early quarterback thing. Hurricane, who are you taking right now? You gotta respond like right now. Patty Mahomes or Justin Herbert? Which one are you taking on this team? Let me know. I got 17 seconds. So there's a little bit of delay from YouTube. So I don't know. We're just gonna pull on our rankings, and I still have Patrick Mahomes over Justin Herbert. Oh, it came in a second late. Oh, Hurricane, I was gonna do it for you, my guy. I was gonna do it for you. I was gonna pick whichever one you wanted, and I went with the round one. But I will say this: between Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes, I think it's so tight. Of course, you could argue the fact that Justin Herbert has better players around him with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and of course they signed Gerald Everett. So I think the tight end position that's a great late round flyer if you do draft 2 tight ends in your redraft leagues. But I just think Patrick Mahomes is like proven, even without Tyreek Hill, that he's still a very talented quarterback. And I would argue that without Tyreek Hill, they're actually going to be a worse team. So they're going to have to throw the ball a lot more. Now, maybe it's not as high in explosive plays. Maybe they're not getting as many, 60 or 70-yard bombs, but the efficiency is going to go down, but the volume is going to go up. And so that's why I'm taking Patrick Mahomes. Not that I don't think Justin Herbert won't have like an amazing season or anything like that. Hurricane, it's all good, my man. I just think Herbert is on track to go nuclear this year. Joshua Palmer. Okay, yeah, another good sleeper pick. Hurricane, man, I need to have you on here on stream one night, and we can just chat it up, because you're always one of the most like interesting guys in the chat and a big supporter of the channel. So appreciate you, Hurricane, for being here. But as well, we do have 6 other viewers, so appreciate all you guys for tuning in, talking fantasy football, seeing a mock draft. Let me know when you're drafting. Are you guys drafting this weekend? Have you already drafted? Let me know. After I drafted Patrick Mahomes, we had Darren Waller. Adam Thielen, Elijah Mitchell, Chris Godwin, Justin Herbert, and then Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas has been just absolutely shooting up the draft boards here recently. Michael Thomas at the 5'10". I mean, you were able to get him maybe 2 weeks ago at like the 7-2 late sixth pick, like a late sixth round. And now, of course, he's gone up just with everyone being super hype, super excited about him. I don't know. It's just really interesting to me. Like I said, if you are tuning in for the first time here tonight, please like and subscribe. We're putting out more content daily, trying to grind on our fantasy football knowledge and just being able to interact in a community of like-minded people. Because really, who is watching fantasy football content? Well, what time is it here? At 9 EST on a Thursday night. Like, I'm not trying to call us lame because I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. But like some people think we're crazy. Like my wife does not. She thinks I'm a little crazy that I talk about fantasy football, that I like think about it. I've been thinking about fantasy football since football ended last February. Like, I'm just excited. College football is back this weekend. I'm a big Ohio State fan, so big game on Saturday against Notre Dame. So go Bucks. I'm sorry if you don't like the Buckeyes, but just gonna hype them up here. If you leave if you're a Notre Dame fan and that causes you to stop watching, I understand that. But yeah, we're just excited. We're excited for football. We're excited for fantasy football to be back, and that's kind of where we're at. So, but yeah, we are grinding here tonight. And then Amari Cooper just went off the board. Antonio Gibson at the 6'4". I know Brian Robinson is potentially going to be out for a little bit of time due to him sadly getting taking a bullet to his like knee, I think, but it didn't miss anything. It missed everything that was vital. So I think people are estimating that it's going to be like 4 to 6 weeks. We wish him a great recovery, but it means Antonio Gibson is back in the limelight after what has happened to him recently. And, here we kind of got all the positions we don't necessarily love. There's some wide receivers we love, but I mean, we're just going to have to take J.K. Dobbins as our running back 1 on a 0 kind of RB team until the 6th round. We don't love it. We do not love it at all. But I do say the fact that J.K. Dobbins and CH are going so close is just based on that video that, he was kind of limping. Okay, and my brother's coming in telling me I should have drafted Renfro. Bro, he might fall to me again. He might fall. Look, he might fall, bro. He might fall. Chill. He might fall. Okay. Ooh. Hurricane, do you play any Devy leagues? Because you say Bijan or Trevion Henderson. I mean, I think it's just, I know they're in 2 different classes. So you got Bijan in 2023, and then you got Trevion Henderson in 2024. If you had to like put a gun to my head, I'm saying Bijan. And I know like I am a Ohio State fan, but yeah, I still think I would take Bijan. And Eli, I'm not taking Hunter Renfrow here. I am going to take, not Hunter Renfrow at all. I think I'm taking Devontae Smith, but I'm thinking about it between Devontae Smith and Drake London. Oh, yeah, I'm going Devontae Smith. And it's crazy because Devontae Smith used to be going like really late. This draft has been super wide receiver heavy. But Hurricane coming back in saying, I don't do Devy, just a test of heroism versus hype. Yeah, homerism versus hype. I think I just think it's Bijan. I do. I think he's going to test really well, and I think he's going to get first-round draft capital. I think Trevion probably will too. He probably will be a late first-round pick. I think it's something to be said about the Ohio State system. Like if you're able to run crazy, like of course, like last year we had CJ Stroud, like we had all the receivers. Like granted, I know we had a bunch of tackles playing on the offensive line, but I just think for Bijan to be playing for Texas, and who honestly, I know they used to be a really high-powered conference, but they haven't been playing so great as of late. Like, I think it's a testament to Bijan's talent versus Trevion maybe being a slight bit of scheme. But you know what? Trevion Henderson could absolutely go out ball this year, and I'm going to be like, you know what? We're going to have to revisit that conversation. But if you are doing Devy, I'm taking Bijan just because you get him a little bit sooner, as well as some stuff like that. So, but like I said, to all of my 6 viewers currently in here right now, appreciate you guys for stopping in. If you are a current subscriber to the channel, man, appreciate you guys so much for stopping in, spending a little bit of your Thursday night with me. And if you are not a subscriber yet, please like and subscribe. We're trying to grow our content on this channel, trying to get better, just trying to engage. So let me know if you're enjoying what you're seeing. If you're not, please do not let me know because it will hurt my feelings. And, after the stream, you might see me like crying in the corner. But, I am a 25-year-old male, so we do not cry. So you want to offend me. Just give me your feedback, good, bad, or ugly. and I might take it into consideration. After I drafted Devontae Smith, we had Kyler Murray at the 7-5. Great value, actually. Maybe I should have waited. Maybe that's a mistake to draft Patty Mahomes. Like I said, I'm a late round quarterback guy, but we are just messing around here, trying to get better and figure out exactly how we're going to strategize once we get into these drafts. Russell Wilson at the 7-7, 7-6, Alan Lazard at the 7-7, Dalton Schultz falling all the way to 7-8. Great value for tight end. Hunter Renfrow at the 7-9, Brandon Ayuk 7-10, Tyler Lockett at the 7-11, Tom Brady at the 7-12. Rumors are that the reason he did take off time was because of potentially something happening in his marriage. So we're wishing Tom Brady all the best, boys. Never want to see that happen. Man retires because his wife probably wants him to retire, and he goes back to football. That is, you know what? Sometimes a happy wife, happy life, and I don't know. After that, we had Drake London, Christian Kirk, Chase Edmonds, Cordell Patterson, and we have Hurricane coming back in. Texas on the up and up. Bijan does look like he's running in third person most of the time. Yeah, I swear he's like playing Madden with himself. He has all the vision, and I mean, granted, I know everyone's like, we haven't seen anyone since like Saquon. I think his production this year, and depending on what he does at the combine, like if he runs a super high 40 and like proves that he's like just like that godly, like, yeah, I think it's gonna be great. So I'm back on the board. We're gonna have to draft our second running back at some point. We did kind of go hero RB. We're looking at wide receivers here on the board, and I don't love Treylon Burks a whole lot, but I know the camp reports. I know it's not looking great, but oh man, the Tennessee Titans are not going to, they don't have a lot of weapons on the outside. And so I think we're just going to base on the fact that maybe he turns into AJ Brown. Maybe by week 6, Treylon Burks is coming into his own and just, yeah, I think that's the high upside pick that we're picking. And that's my wide receiver 5. So Treylon Burks is my wide receiver 5. And we're probably from here on out, we are going to be sniping just running backs. And I thought some of these running backs would be falling. I just like Miles Sanders just feels nasty, especially with them picking up Trey Sermon. I know he's going to be playing on their practice squad, and that is why we had Ken Walker, Miles Sanders, Damian Harris. Maybe we didn't want all those guys. I was hoping James Cook fell to me. I'm feeling pretty good with James Cook as my RB2, has the receiving upside. And just from here, we're going to be just drafting late round running backs. Honestly, if Damian Pierce had fallen to me at the 8-9, I probably would have taken Damian Pierce, and we would be looking back, and the hype is out of control. The fact that he went at 8 tonight is because we are drafting with people that actually know what they're like kind of doing value-wise. I saw him last night go at 6-2. 6-2 in a 12-team, like just same exact settings that we're doing here now. 6-2. Is that too early for Damian Pierce? I think it is. I think Damian Pierce, the same hype that Mike Davis had last year for the Atlanta Falcons. Now, granted, I know one's a rookie, one was coming off a great year replacing CMC. But it just feels like the same thing. We're like, oh, he's going to see the volume, so like draft Damian Pierce. But like, are we actually sure Damian Pierce is talented? He flashed in the preseason. You know who else has flashed in the preseason? Marquez Callaway. Like Trey Sermon didn't look half bad in the preseason. Like every year there's someone that absolutely kills it in the preseason, and then like you never hear from him again in the season. And I'm worried that it's Damian Pierce. And you know what? Damian Pierce at 8-8, we might be looking back on the season and saying, man, what great value Damian Pierce was at the 8-8. But I just think I'm just not on Damian Pierce train. Can someone convince me in the comments that I need to jump on the Damian Pierce train? So after I drafted James Cook, we had Ramondre Stevenson at the 9-5, Henderson at the 9-6, Dawson Knox at the 9-7, Aaron Rodgers at the 9-8, Chris Olave at the 9-9, Kadarius Toney at the 9-10, Robert Woods at the 9-11. Love me some Robert Woods this year. Also, like same exact reason I like Treylon Burks. Like I really do like me some Robert Woods. George Pickens at the 9-12. George Pickens has been going way early. Cole Kmet at the 10-1. And this is exactly why you wait on tight end. Getting Cole Kmet at the 10th round feels great. Like getting Cole Kmet at 10-1 compared to like, I would prefer that over like Dallas Goedert at the 8-7. Now, I do think Zach Ertz fell. I do think Dalton Schultz fell, which really helped out if you waited on tight end. Maybe we shouldn't have drafted Mark Andrews, but we're feeling pretty good. Or not Mark Andrews, George Kittle. Maybe we should have picked another like running back there or wide receiver. So what are we thinking of my team so far, squad? We have Patrick Mahomes, J.K. Dobbins, James Cook, Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb, George Kittle, Mike Evans, Devontae Smith, and then Treylon Burks. Hurricane coming in here talking about my Damian Pierce take, saying that James Robinson is the absolute ceiling for Damian Pierce. I would argue that's a bold comment. I mean, that's like exactly right on what I would think, but the ceiling is the floor, and I'm just not in on Damian Pierce. Like, if you tell me I'm drafting James Robinson, like I'm like, listen, James Robinson is a 1 in a million type running back. And that is why right here, we are going to go with James Robinson. Like I said, we're going to just be hammering RB here. If he falls to me again, yeah, we're going to draft Brian Robinson. I know he's on the pup list, but these are the type of running backs we're just taking shots at because anything happens to Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson, all wheels up if he comes back healthy. James Robinson, anything happens to ETN, all wheels up. He might actually even be the starter, and we just are all super hype up on Travis Etienne in the fantasy football community. But I feel I'm feeling pretty good about my 0 RB strategy so far. What do you guys think? Do you think maybe I missed out? Maybe the Treylon Burks pick was a miss. Maybe that was the miss of the draft. Maybe it was the Devontae Smith pick, but I'm feeling pretty good about this team for being a 0 RB team. Hurricane Lane coming back in. That ceiling is an RB4 finish, by the way, but highly replaceable long term. Exactly. That is why the most replaceable piece of your team is going to be an RB2. Like someone that puts up RB2 numbers, like that's going to be the most easily replaceable position on your team. So, like I think that's why like we look at like Kareem Hunt. You're like, man, Kareem Hunt in 7th. Like I need RB depth, but it's like you're probably gonna be able to find someone on the waiver wire on a week-to-week basis. Maybe they only play 1 or 2 weeks, but like if you play that way and you have strong receivers, you have a good enough tight end and like a good quarterback, like you should be able to be a fine fantasy football player playing the waiver wire on that. Hurricane comes back in saying it's also highly likely that a team sucks and he gets a little work in the passing game, making him effectively mediocre at a starting position. Yes, I would agree with that. I'm really hoping good things for Brevin Jordan. I really love Brevin Jordan as well as, of course, Brandon Cooks. But maybe this is the Nico Collins break here, but like, and everyone's like hyped up on Davis Mills because you're like, man, Davis Mills performed just better than Mac Jones last year as rookies. And I'm like, okay, listen, but like maybe Mac Jones isn't that good. And maybe we're just really hyping up Davis Mills, a 3rd-round quarterback from Stanford. Maybe he takes that next step this year, but I just think it's going to be kind of what it is. So to all my 7 viewers right now, I appreciate you guys for all stopping in, hanging out with me on your Thursday night. Like I said already, we just hit 70 subscribers, which is our goal. So appreciate you. If you enjoy the content, want to become in more of these mock drafts with me and just continue to grind in fantasy football, feel free to subscribe down below. It really helps me out with the algorithm as well as like the stream because we're trying to get as many people to see this right before the season as possible. So right after I drafted Brian Robinson, we had McKissick, Tyler Boyd, Tampa Bay defense, also like late round defense for sure. Late round kicker also. Are we drafting kickers? Yeah, we are. Pat Fryermuth, Njoku, Julio Jones, Carr, Spiller, Algier, Sky Moore, more defenses. Actually, just to be clear, I really do like the 49ers defense a whole lot. Baltimore Ravens, Russell Gage, Kirk Cousins, Isaiah McKenzie, and then we are back on the clock. And here we're looking, do we take another quarterback? The tight end position, we're not taking kickers or defense. You know what? We're looking here. Romeo Dobbs is right there. We can wait on that. I haven't drafted a Green Bay Packers. I haven't drafted him yet, and I just feel like 12-9 is a value. That's good enough. But that's okay. That's okay. Maybe what? I just lost 3 people because I made the comment about kickers, and that really offended them. That really just offended them. It's okay. It's okay. I will go to sleep knowing I made the right, they thought I should have taken Justin Tucker. I think that's who it is. But you know what? He fell again. And you know what? Just so my team looks good on Twitter, we're pulling the trigger on Justin Tucker. That was a Twitter pick. So if you're on Twitter, let you know when you see my team, when I screenshot that team later, let me know. Because everyone's going to say the Twitter community is just so savage when we're talking like, when you're like, well, how do you think my team looks? And then it's like, no, like your team looks crap. Hurricane coming in. Davis Mills has a quick release for all rookies last year at 2.9 seconds. Not saying he's great, but he's got a chance to earn a long-term role. Not taking him any format besides. So yeah, y'all know for sure. I think like if you were like a lot of people were able to pick him off the waiver wire last year in Superflex Dynasty leagues. And my thing is this, like they're gonna have such a high pick next year. Like if they have the option to take Stroud or maybe they'll surprise and they won't have like a top pick. But if they have the chance to take Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, like I imagine they pull that. And even like I'm a pretty big Will Levis fan, and like Will Levis is going to be there in the 1st round, and then you have like Anthony Richardson who will probably go in the 2nd round. Like there's a good class of quarterbacks next year, and I just don't know if Davis Mills, like even if he has a decent year, like even if he has like a Zach Wilson type level performances next year, like if that's going to be enough to secure his job long term. Hurricane come back in. The only Packers receiver I'm interested in is Aaron Jones in round 2 and Robert Tonyan in the last round. Man, you are frying me. I did hear the report that there's no wide receiver 1 in the Packers, and I did hear that. but I'm just banking on the fact that he's looked good in camp. And maybe that's like maybe that is so biased to me to say that because I literally was just like I'm not basing any of my decisions off of like Damian Pierce. So maybe you think that's a hypocritical thing, but when you get into these back rounds, like sure, take the shot on Marquez Callaway. Like maybe he will turn into someone this season. Maybe take the shot, that was last season, but like this year, this year's Marcus Callaway is like Romeo Dubs, and so Dupes. However you say it. I know Hurricane. You keep fixing my pronunciation on that, and I keep botching that year after year, or not stream after stream after stream. But appreciate everyone for being here tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hurricane, we need to do another mock. Actually, me and you, we need to get not tonight because I don't have time tonight, but we do need. Oh yeah, Dobbs. It's like Josh Dobbs, but it's Romeo, and we are back on the clock, and we need to take a defense because whatever. And I love me the Indianapolis defense. I think they're going to be really solid this year. So if you are in here and you were in this draft, let me know your team name and I will give you a grade. But if not, we will walk you through my team. And the thing's still like beeping. So sorry if that was annoying all stream, but drafted Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Hurricane. I need you to give me a grade at the end of this, after me going over this. George Kittle at the 4.9, Patrick Mahomes at the 5.4. J.K. Dobbins is our hero RB, 0 RB, first running back. Devontae Smith, Treylon Burks, James Cook, James Robinson, Brian Robinson, Romeo Dubs, Justin Tucker, and then the Colts defense. I'm feeling pretty solid about this. I'm just giving it like a B. Maybe like if I were to grade this, I'd probably give it like an 86. Like we don't feel great about the running backs. We feel great about our kicker. We feel pretty good about our tight end spot. We feel really good about our wide receivers. We're just feeling a little bit frisky with our running backs. But like always, running back gets injured more than any other position because of the volatility of them hitting each other. That I don't even know where I was going with that. Running in between the tackles and it's just a high value position. Football as a whole, like, is a very injury prone sport, but the running backs are typically, of course, getting a little bit more injury prone just due to the current volume. So Hurricane, what are you doing? What's my draft grade? What are you putting it at? What are you putting it at here tonight, my friend? And like always, if you're not Hurricane, Eli, if you're still in here, my brother or anyone else that is tuning in to this stream, what are you giving my team grade? I'll go back over it in case you just tuned in. Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, George Kittle, Patrick Mahomes, J.K. Dobbins, Smith, Treylon Burks, James Cook, James Robinson, Brian Robinson, Romeo Dubs, Justin Tucker, and the Colts defense. I'm feeling pretty good about it, to be honest, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I really don't know. So here, let's see. Hurricane coming in here saying Godwin, Davis in round 5 and Kyler Murray in round 7 would be ideal in hindsight. Oh, no kidding. I totally agree with that. I was so upset. I didn't know Kyler was going to fall that far. And then when he did, I was like, crap, I should have drafted Kyler Murray. And then you come back in as a 0 RB build. I would give it a B. Okay. I will accept it because that's where I'm at. Are you like a B? Like if we're giving it like a teacher grade, because like an 83 compared to an 86 is a big difference. I'm leaning more in like the 85, 86 category, but that is just me as well. Ooh. Oh, grade team 5. Oh, my man, Matt coming in here. Appreciate you being here, my guy. Like always, if you haven't subscribed yet already, would appreciate you subscribing because we are putting in, I think I've been actually in a few mock drafts with you already this offseason, man. So appreciate you stopping in here tonight. And we were just discussing all your picks. Like, I think you kept sniping me. Like, I think I'm already upset about this because I realized that you were ahead of me. So Austin Eckler, 1.5. I don't have Austin Eckler as high as what I think most people have. Like, I'd probably take Dalvin Cook over Austin Eckler, but that's like really small, minute detail. Hurricane, what'd you say? Kyler won't fall that far in your home leagues. Agree. Okay. Oh, heavy hitter Rob. Oh my gosh, my man. Coming in. I think we get 69. You know what? We'll take it. We'll take that. Hopefully, I get the joke. Too, but this is a child appropriate channel, and so we're not going to jump into that. But let's go back to Matt. Drafted Devontae Adams with 2.8. So Devontae Adams fell. Love that value. T. Higgins at the 3.5. Travis Etienne at the 4.8. That was the pick. I really was hoping Travis Etienne was going to be my first running back. I was like, you know what? If I can get Travis Etienne, like, life's going to be great, because then I could have gotten Darren Waller in the 5th round, and I would have felt really great about my team. But of course, that's not what happened. You decided to draft Travis Etienne, and then of course took Darren Waller in the 5th, Rashad Bateman in the 6th, Kyler Murray falls all the way to you in the 7.5, and then Damian Pierce, Ramondre. So, okay, you also kind of you didn't go robust RB, but you kind of were doing like a hero RB build until all this great value fell to you, and you just, of course, took the value and then hammered running back with Damian Pierce, Stevenson, Hines, McKissick, White, Jamal Williams, and then the Green Bay Packers. And it looks like you didn't take a kicker, my man. I hate to break this to you, but you didn't take a kicker. And like I said, you know what? I thought about being one of the first fantasy football content creators to do a kicker ranking. I know not enough people do, and not enough people like study kickers enough. Like, I do not believe there's a science. My only science when I go into picking a kicker, I really think it just comes down to pick an offense that you think is going to be really good and get their kicker. Like, and I know that's not all the time true. Like, sometimes you want an offense that maybe is not going to score as much. So maybe picking like a top 13 offense, but like maybe not like the Rams or something like that. Even though Matt Gay was really good last year, and I think he's going to be pretty good again. Hey, man, I appreciate that you think my squad's pretty solid. I think, but empty grades, I didn't give you a grade. B+ for sure, my man. I really like your team a lot. And also, let's also be clear. This is your first time on the stream. I don't typically give out like A's. Like, the A team has to be like chef's kiss, and I say that every draft. I say the word chef's kiss, but I think your team's really good, man. I think your team was really good. Have you drafted yet? Let me know if you drafted. To my 6 viewers, let me know if you drafted yet down below, because depending on schedules tomorrow night, I might do another live. Just depends on timing. But like I said, we got to 70 subscribers here tonight. If you haven't already, subscribe and like the stream. We are trying to put out more content. I'm trying to put out another video tomorrow of some of my quarterback and tight end rankings, just so that if anyone is drafting here before the weekend, they can also get that. But like I said, I just appreciate everyone for being here, for supporting me. I know the stream's been lacking a little bit more this week than last week, so I appreciate all the thoughts and prayers, as kind of just like life happens, and that's kind of what happens. We are living this wonderful game of life, and fantasy football is a wonderful part of what the life we're living in. So I'm just wishing everyone a great draft weekend, great college football weekend, and as always, if you haven't liked and subscribed, like and subscribe. And if you're watching the replay, appreciate you stopping all the way through. But as always, boys, we are out of here, and we are back here tomorrow again to just continue talking fantasy football. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I will catch you here tomorrow night.